So, welcome to the Diversity Dialogue. With me, I have a colleague of mine, Maria Cortez, who is an account executive at Mobilematics. Welcome to the show, Maria.
Thanks, Ashwin. I'm excited to be here.
So, shining a spotlight on our own fellow workers. So, Maria, first question for you is why are you at Mobilematics?
Yeah, thanks, Ashwin. So when I first started doing some research on Mobilmatics and who they were and what they did, it was evident that our founders had a tremendous track record in the industry. So I quickly realized it was a very unique and rare opportunity that wasn't going to present itself again. And what really interested me was the small business culture, which was opposite of my previous employer at the time. Working for a small company, you can really benefit and enjoy the fruits of your labor, where working for a large organization, sometimes you feel like a cog in the wheel. So here at Mobilmatics, we have a direct impact on the success of the company, and that's extremely motivating. And one of the main things I found appealing to join the team, and one of the main reasons why I continue to stay here.
Yeah, great perspective, and I can completely empathize with you. I think the ability to kind of move the needle and see an effect of what you're doing, right? So, focusing on something that is core to the culture and the reason behind Mobilematics, which is diversity, right? And as a diversity first supplier, so what again in your mind, diversity means a lot of things to a lot of people. So, what does it mean
Mhm.
for you, Maria?
Yeah, so diversity to me means working towards and creating a reality that reflects the people who make up this world. I mean, ultimately, I think what makes humanity a beautiful thing is our different attributes. So the more that those qualities are showcased on a day-to-day basis, the better place the world will be. And, I think most of the time when you hear the word diversity, people just jump to race, or that's the first
Yeah.
thing that pops into their mind. But it's much more than that. It's also inclusive of, disabilities, sexual orientation, gender, age, and religion. So, while diversity discussions have evolved and companies have made it a main priority in the past 10 years, I think there is areas that we can definitely grow in as well.
Yeah, and it's so true, right? I mean, again, people stereotype based on what they think of diversity, but to your point, I think it does mean a lot more than what the media or what the world will tell us diversity is. So, last question for you. I know you touched upon this briefly, but just to hone in on that a little bit, which is uh, going from a larger company to a smaller company, I think one of the things is really the ability to move the needle. On the other hand, there is a collective community amplifier effect, right? And if you see a lot of these diversity minority owned companies together, they can probably uh, deliver greater value than a single large company. But from a buyer's perspective, it's like, hey, it's the easy button, right? You go to a large company and you kind of know what you're going to get, versus taking a chance with a small diversity or a minority-owned company. So, talk a little bit about your journey in terms of what you've learned along the way and how you've been able to influence the buyer to kind of take a chance.
Yeah, and I think, that's one of the big misconceptions, right? Is that, oh, I want to work with a large company. I don't want to disrupt what I'm doing, and it's easier just to go to them. But that's not ultimately the truth. And I think, when people do work with Mobilmatics, they realize that and they actually prefer working with us than the bigger guy, right? So, for us, it's getting that first opportunity to really deliver on the service level, and doing things like this, and going to conferences to get the word out about us. So yeah, I would say that's a misconception, and the more awareness that we can bring to working with diversity businesses and how it is easy, and ultimately you're giving back to the community and you're supporting these different cultures and everything that makes up diversity. I think if you can kind of sell them on that and realize the impact they're making while also getting a great service level, they're more likely to use other diversity suppliers as well.
Yeah, and I was about to kind of just double click on that, and what you mentioned at the end, which is opening the doors for the others, right? So, hey, so it was great working with you and the experiences. Like, are there other diversity suppliers out there that we might be? So I think that's a great point, right? Just it's not just for our own personal interest, but also for the larger community and kind of just taking down the barriers that exist. So yeah, thanks for your time, Maria. Great chatting with you.
Thanks, Ashwin.